VYZOV Prize for Future Technologies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to announce that we're starting the ceremony for the National Prize for Future Technologies, named VYZOV. Today, we will honor the laureates in the categories of Future, Engineering Solution, Breakthrough, and Scientist of the Year. And in a new category, Discovery, established by the VYZOV Foundation for the Development of Scientific and Cultural Relations for scientists from around the world. I should note that the monetary value of each category today is 11 million rubles. To deliver the greeting from the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, we invite the Deputy Prime Minister, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the VYZOV Foundation, Dmitry Chernyshenko. Dear friends, I welcome you to the grand ceremony of the VYZOV Prize for Future Technologies. It's gratifying that your project has come to fruition. And today, we once again honor the laureates of this prestigious prize. Bright, talented, passionate people, dedicated to their calling and relentless creative pursuit. Their groundbreaking discoveries and developments have made significant contributions to strengthening the economic potential of our country, in addressing pressing issues in the social sector, largely determining the main vector of development in modern science and technology. I emphasize, it's extremely important that the unique achievements of our researchers, engineers, scientific teams, engineering centers are implemented in practice as much as possible, serving to ensure our technological sovereignty, strengthen national security, and improve the quality of life for citizens. And of course, I'd like to note that this year, the prize has reached an international level and received recognition from our foreign friends and partners. Cooperation, exchange of experience and knowledge is one of the key factors of scientific and technological progress, our confident move forward. I warmly congratulate the laureates, wish them new achievements, and all the best. Signed, President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. And, on behalf of all of us, I'd like to thank the President for the fact that in 2022, he took the initiative to establish the Decade of Science and Technology. Undoubtedly, the International VYZOV Prize is a jewel among other very important events that promote our science and technology. Congratulations to the laureates. I invite to the stage the Chairman of the Scientific Committee of the VYZOV Prize, Artyom Oganov. Please welcome. Friends, I think scientific awards are needed for several reasons. They're needed to support the best scientists and also to highlight the most important scientific breakthroughs. It was important to create a completely independent prize, without politics, without any external influences, utterly honest. And we succeeded. For this, we assembled a unique scientific committee, consisting of the most respected scientists in our country, working in a wide variety of scientific fields. The work was structured so that all decisions were made collectively. But all the responsibility for these decisions lies on me personally. In the first year of the prize's existence, we received 218 applications, which is a lot. This year, we received 594 applications. And all these applications were carefully reviewed. You know, the role of the Science Committee is like that of a judge. And there's a big temptation to feel the power. But in our Science Committee, we felt something completely different. We felt love for the scientists. And I sincerely hope for this love to reach all of you. Thank you very much.
Я запомню каждый день, где спать холодно, купить дорого. Я запомню каждый день, где молюсь, а веры нет. Я запомню каждый день, где я росла, как человек. Те, кто мои, были рядом всегда. Когда нет плана Б и тонкий лед подо мной уйдет вот-вот, тем важнее каждый шанс на вздох. Клеток поровну, черных и белых. Мы боимся менять и меняться. В липкой маске отверженно смелых страшно только одно — бояться. Все изменится, чувствует кожа, так как русло меняют реки. Выживут честные люди, хорошие, выживут человеки. Я запомню каждый день, когда рядом мои родители. Я запомню каждый день, где без слов и не без слов. Сколько положен быть нам под небом, знает один лишь Бог. И каждый день это шанс на любой из счастливых концов. Не перестать вставать, упав лицом, и не остаться под лицом, каким жестоким не был бы урок.
I give the floor to the director and concept creator of the ceremony, Konstantin Bogomolov. Good evening, dear friends. Today, we decided to base our ceremony on the image of a labyrinth. A labyrinth is a search and a path to light, to glory, to reward. It's simultaneously an image of the variety of life's problems and the difficulty of choosing the right solution. It's the perfect image to describe the work and life of our laureates. A scientist's search is always a journey through a labyrinth. It's wandering in darkness and chaos. It's moving through dark corridors and dead ends, through despair and fatigue, through mistakes and confusion. 1,000 years ago, in ancient Greece, the noble Theseus walked through the dark labyrinth facing death. But he went there not to die, but to win. In his hands, he held a ball of thread given to him by Ariadne. The thread which would later lead him back from the dark labyrinth to the light. 1,000 years later, the great Russian poet Fyodor Sologub described the creative struggles of an artist this way.
Где ты, моя Ариадна? Где твой волшебный клубок? Я в лабиринте блуждаю, я без тебя изнемог. Светоч мой гаснет слабея, полон тревоги стою и призываю на помощь мудрость и силу твою. Много дорог здесь, но света нет и не видно пути. Страшно и трудно в пустыне мраку навстречу идти. Жертв преждевременных тени передо мною стоят, страшно зияют их раны, мрачно их очи горят. Голос чудовища слышен и заглушает их стон. Мрака, безумного мрака требует радостно он. Где ж ты, моя Ариадна? Где путеводная нить? Только она мне поможет дверь лабиринта открыть.
Каждый из наших героев уже совершил свой подвиг. Каждый блуждал в хаосе грез и образов, в хаосе идей и решений, чтобы, подобно Тесею, победить своего Минотавра, чтобы добыть там, в темных и глубоких шахтах, алмаз мысли, единственное драгоценное решение. Каждый сегодня пойдет обратной дорогой. Этот узор, выложенный сегодня здесь, это не только образ лабиринта, это дорога, по которой каждый из наших героев идет к своей награде. Это золотая нить Ариадны, ведущая их к свету.
These are the words of another great poet, Валерий Брюсов.
В руках я нес клубок царевны. Я шел и пел, тянулась нить. Я счастлив был, что жар полдневный в подземной тьме могу избыть. И, видев странные чертоги, и посмотрев на чудеса, я повернул на полдороги, чтобы выйти вновь под небеса, чтоб после тайн безлюдной ночи меня ласкала синева, чтоб целовать подругу в очи, прочтя заветные слова.
So, the first nomination is called Future. It's awarded to scientists younger than 35 years of age at the time of nomination. To introduce the laureate of the VYZOV Prize in the Future category, I invite to the stage a special representative of the President of the Russian Federation for International Cultural Cooperation, Mikhail Shvitkoy. Please welcome. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One of the best popular science books about modern science is called When We Cease to Understand the World. What's happening today is an attempt to refute this concept and say that we do understand the world after all. Not long ago, there was the fourth forum for young scientists in Sochi, where I saw the eyes of those scientists, just boys and girls, who believed in the great power of science. People need a future. It's very important. A scientist without a future can't really do their job. In Soviet times, besides, of course, the Knowledge and Power journal, there were two more journals. One was called Science and Life, and the other was called Chemistry and Life, which implies that chemistry seems to not be a science, but maybe even more than a science. The person who's about to receive the prize knows a lot about chemistry. He's a remarkable young scientist who's involved in creating nitrogen-containing heterocyclic compounds from which a lot can be produced. They're full of energy. They're perfectly suited for creating various materials. I'm pleased to announce the laureate's name. It is a remarkable chemist, Leonid Feuerstadt. I'm Leonid Leonidovich Feuerstadt, and my area of work includes developing new energy-intensive materials and potential pharmaceutical products based on nitrogen-oxygen heterocyclic structures. The pharmaceutical products include various thrombolytics, antiplatelets, antibacterial vasodilators, which would have fewer side effects and more pronounced therapeutic effects compared to the existing medicines. On the other hand, we're trying to create new energy-intensive materials for the aerospace industry, as well as for the mining industry. New energy-intensive materials could completely eliminate the risk of man-made disasters. The Institute of Organic Chemistry, where we work, is a leading center of chemical science not only in Russia, but also in the world. I'm proud that our lab has quite a few young scientists, undergraduate and graduate students, young people with bright eyes who are eager to conduct scientific research. Dear Leonid Leonidovich, I'm pleased to inform you that you've been selected as the laureate of the 2024 VYZOV Prize in the category Future. This is just, it's very unexpected. The title, the proud title of a prize laureate, which I'll now strive to carry, it should help me achieve fundamentally new goals, as well as set much more ambitious tasks for myself in the future. I've always had a penchant for doing methodical things. With my family, we sometimes solved crosswords, opened the Great Soviet Encyclopedia, and looked up terms. A distinctive feature of my character has been the desire to understand many details on one hand, and on the other hand, to discover, constantly discover new horizons throughout my life. Chemistry is akin to painting, because on one hand, it's a riot of colors, and on the other hand, chemistry is close to architecture, because mixing different reagents in a flask leads to substances different by nature. Science constantly keeps a person, especially the human brain, in limitless tone, so science definitely serves as a catalyst for the development of an individual and humanity as a whole. The VYZOV Prize in the category Future for advanced research in the creation of multifunctional organic materials based on high nitrogen molecular architectures is awarded to Doctor of Chemical Sciences, head of the Laboratory of Nitrogen-Containing Compounds at the Zelinsky Institute of Organic Chemistry of the Russian Academy of Sciences, professor at the Basic Department of the Higher School of Economics, Leonid Feuerstadt. Thank you, Mikhail Yefimovich. Good evening. First of all, of course, I'd like to express my gratitude to the VYZOV Foundation and the Foundation's Scientific Committee for evaluating my application at the highest level among hundreds of others. I must say that this result would be impossible without the participation of my lab companions and our colleagues from other scientific organizations. I'm sincerely grateful to my teachers, who I have met along the path of my life, and my friends, whose support I constantly feel. I especially want to thank my mom, who always believed in me. Today, it's a great honor for me to represent our institute and our team on this stage. And I promise that we will do even more. Thank you very much. Today, many beautiful words have already been spoken. But I'm sure that everyone here in this hall also has something to say. And today my colleague, Andrei Razigrayev, is ready to chat with those lucky enough to be the audience of our ceremony. Good evening, Igor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome another one of our guests. This is the Moscow government minister, head of the city's Department of Investment and Industrial Policy, Anatoly Garvuzov. Good evening. Good evening. My question for you is quite specific. How do you explain Moscow's active, genuine, and consistent interest in supporting science overall and the VYZOV Foundation specifically? The President mentioned that we need to ensure exceptional technological sovereignty. Technological sovereignty combines industry with science. In our desire to ensure technological sovereignty, we must always move forward. The only thing that can advance industry is science. The people present here today, whom we're congratulating. Moscow has supported, is supporting, and will continue to support not just industry, but science as well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Accept these words of gratitude. And please pass them on to Sergei Semyonovich Sobyanin. You're the youngest member of the scientific committee of our VYZOV Prize, right? That's right. Good evening. And you're also the deputy chairman of the VYZOV Prize Scientific Committee. The main question is, what challenge did the scientific committee face this year? I think our personal challenge as the scientific committee was that the number of applications increased. We've already seen these impressive numbers. The scope has become much broader and the applications much stronger. You know, when we discussed it with the scientific committee, we jokingly divided the applications into 3 categories. The first category is applications that have already received or were nominated for the most prestigious international prizes. The second is for those that are about to receive these prizes, and we need to recognize the laureates in time. And the third category is discoveries for which it would be strange if the best prizes weren't given. So, of course, we faced a very difficult challenge of discussing a huge number of very strong applications. I'm very grateful to my senior colleagues on the scientific committee for the great work we did to select the best of the best. I believe we managed to do it. The VYZOV Prize is one of a kind. It's able to unite both science and culture. Let me take the opportunity. Since I'm next to Marina Brusnikina, you're that gifted person who created an entire tradition in theater education. And, dare I say, almost an exclusive leader. You've launched several brilliant courses. And if you were involved in science, you'd surely be a nominee for the VYZOV Prize. That's absolutely certain. How did you become a teacher? And one of the best teachers in Moscow, at that.
I'm, of course, very impressed by what I'm hearing here and by the number of terms I don't understand at all, because science and I, well, we're 2 incompatible things. But I think that if I never met my great literary teacher, but came across a great physicist or some gifted physics teacher instead, I might have become a physicist or a chemist and done something more useful than what I feel I'm doing, compared to people who work in science.
Mark, I know you believe that doing music is like fine-tuning the brain from a very young age. Isn't that right? Many scientists who study the brain compare it to an orchestra, saying it's also a very complex mechanism where everyone performs their function at the right moment. The only thing is, with an orchestra, it's clear who writes the music and who conducts. But with the brain, it's still unclear, and that's a challenge for scientists. I won't hide it. I feel very comfortable, absolutely in my element. In the spotlight. I'd even say, at the center of the universe. Truthfully, this space can be seen as a model of the universe. Well, imagine along these orbits is where young artists move. I mean, planets. More precisely, artists who symbolize planets. Of course, young artists don't possess even 1/100th of the brilliance that shines from me. But they do have a chance to bask a little in the rays of my fame. Right?
Быть знаменитым некрасиво. Не это поднимает ввысь. Не надо заводить архива, над рукописями трястись. Цель творчества — самоотдача, а не шумиха, не успех. Позорно, ничего не знача, быть притчей на устах у всех.
Pasha, no, my dear, it's bad, it's monstrous. First of all, you're not yet mature enough to recite such lines. You need charisma here, you know. And secondly, believe me, being famous, that's beautiful. And it does elevate. Others will follow your path inch by inch. But you shouldn't distinguish defeat from victory yourself.
Ты сам не должен отличать и должен ни единой долькой не отступаться от лица, а быть живым, живым и только, живым и только до конца.
Tell me, Pasha, am I not alive? Am I not alive, Pasha? I'm more alive than anyone. I'm not the one who put myself in the center, by the way. The director put me there, the organizers. After all, I'm, you could say, a star. I'm the sun itself. I shine. You understand? I warm hearts with my shine, my charm, my, if you will, smile. Okay, Igor, seriously, enough. It's impossible. What's happening? We can't have two suns in the sky. Genya, please leave. I just can't leave. Why can't you? No, sorry. I can't leave. You see, some people even think I'm a decent actor. I'm an actor too. I'll stay here, but what? But I'm not going to take your place in the center of this universe. No way. And I'm not going to topple you. Right. I didn't come here for this. I couldn't take it. I came to explain to you that it's one thing to show your face, and another thing entirely to truly shine. Right? To shine. Every day, every single day for people, you know? Just imagine, you can never appear on TV, never smile, smile brilliantly like you do from all those billboards, not blare from every corner imaginable, and still be a true star. Oh, are you trying to say I'm not a real star? No. You are a real one. Everything's fine. You're a real one. Both you and I, yeah. Of course I give this stage to you. Please create. Friends, we're here today to celebrate the stars of science. Sure, these people probably don't get autograph requests from fans often, and strangers rarely take photos with them. But they're the ones who push our civilization forward. And today we're lighting up these stars. And that's why, Igor, you and I should only shine with reflected light today. All of us should bask in the glory of these amazing, wonderful people. You know, friends, today we all have an amazing chance to get a little closer to super, bright stars. Well, remember Mayakovsky?
В 140 солнц закат пылал, в июль катилось лето, была жара, жара плыла, на даче было это. Пригорок Пушкина горбил Акуловой горою, а низ горы деревни был, кривился крыш корою, а за деревню дыра. И в ту дыру, наверное, спускалось солнце каждый раз медленно и верно. А завтра снова мир залить вставало солнце Алла. И день за днем ужасно злить меня вот это стало. И так однажды разозлясь, что в страхе все поблекло, в упор я крикнул солнцу: «Слазь! Довольно шляться в пекло!» Я крикнул солнцу: «Дармоед, занежен в облака ты!» А тут, не знаю, ни зим, ни лет, сиди, рисуй плакаты. Я крикнул солнцу: «Погоди, послушай, златолоба, чем так без дела заходить? Ко мне на чай зашло бы?» Что я наделал? Я погиб. Ко мне по доброй воле, само раскинув луч шаги, шагает солнце в поле. Хочу испуг не показать и ретируюсь задом. Уже в саду его глаза, уже проходит садом, в окошке, в двери, в щель войдя, валилось солнце масса, валилось. Дух переведя, заговорила басом: «Гоню обратно я огни впервые с сотворения. Ты звал меня? Чьи гони? Гони, поэт, варенья». Слеза из глаз у самого, жара с ума сводила. Ну, я ему на самовар, ну что ж, садись, светило. Болтали так до темноты, ну, до бывшей ночи, то есть, какая тьма уж тут. На «ты» мы с ним совсем освоясь. И скоро, дружбы не тая, бью по плечу его, а солнце тоже. Ты да я, нас, товарищ, двое. Пойдем, поэт, взорим, споем у мира в сером хламе. Я буду солнце лить свое, а ты свое стихами. Стена теней, ночей тюрьма, от солнц двустволки пала. Стихов и света кутюрьма, свияй во что попало. Устанет то, захочет ночь прилечь, тупая сонница. Вдруг я во всю святаю мощь, и снова день трезвонится. Светить всегда, светить везде, до дней последних донца. Светить! И никаких гвоздей. Вот лозунг. Мой и солнце.
Bravo. Indeed, today we can see a whole constellation light up in the sky. And of course, each star in this constellation is the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, the nomination, Engineering Solution. And to introduce the laureate, we invite to the stage the Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the VYZOV Foundation, Dmitry Chernyshenko, and the Head of the Federal Medical Biological Agency, Veronika Skvortsova. Please welcome. Dear friends, our laureate of the VYZOV Prize comes from Novosibirsk, a place renowned for its scientists and discoveries, a place where, you could say, a scientific salute happened when the Siberian circular photon source launched the first beam of charged particles from the injector. It is a synchrotron of the generation 4+, with a brightness unmatched by other similar projects in the world. But the prize isn't for that. The technology of the boron neutron capture therapy can be explained by Veronika Igorevna much better than me. But it's a technology that will let us start saving lives of our people from the dreadful disease of the 21st century, cancer. It'll happen in 2025, very soon at the Blokin Center and simultaneously at the Burnazian Center. So, this event I want to tell you about began in 2021 when the chairman of the government of the Russian Federation, Mikhail Mishustin, learned about the scientific idea, and it took a little over 3 years to implement it. Veronika Igorevna, what is this discovery and engineering solution?
Dear friends, today we celebrate a special field, truly multidisciplinary, at the intersection of nuclear physics, radiochemistry, biology, medicine, and instrument engineering. It is essentially a field that is the first step towards creating a whole chain of technological solutions, necessary for many things, including treatment of malignant tumors. Our laureate worked on developing methods for boron neutron capture therapy. And this allowed him to create a compact, intense, accelerator-based neutron source, which has already proven its effectiveness. By creating a compact device, our laureate enabled the placement of this device in clinic laboratories. Even though in terms of radiation intensity, this device is comparable to a nuclear reactor. Considering the ability to control its parameters, we can proportion the level of radiation and do everything in our power to ensure it doesn't harm the human body or affect healthy tissues. Our laureate is Sergei Yuryevich Taskayev.
I am Sergei Yuryevich Taskayev, a scientist, a physicist. The boron neutron capture therapy. This method was proposed in 1936, 4 years after the neutron was discovered. How is it implemented? There are a number of tumors that grow quickly, and they need food, and it's their greed that destroys them. All you need is to give the patient a boron solution through an IV, then irradiate them for 40 minutes. The neutrons will find the boron, capture it, a nuclear reaction will occur, and that cell will die. And that's it. No surgery, therapy, or chemotherapy is required. And it's enough to treat tumors like glioblastoma, which can't be treated with anything else, or huge neck and head tumors. Our contribution is to create a neutron source. We proposed a new type of charged particle accelerator. Now we have a target that can be used for therapy of hundreds of patients. We've basically made an eternal target. This is the topmost level. No one in the world understands why this happens, except for us. We've brought the device to the level where it can be used in any clinic for therapy. Dear Sergei Yurievich, I am pleased to inform you that you have been chosen as the laureate of the 2024 VYZOV Prize in the category Engineering Solution. Thank you. Congratulations. We truly understand that. We've done something very significant. And it belongs to Russia. That's just great. It motivates us to move forward. By creating the neutron source, we've equipped ourselves with such a set of diagnostic tools that recently we've been using it to gain fundamental knowledge. That is measuring the cross-sections of nuclear reactions, some of which just haven't been measured before. And this kind of knowledge isn't applied, it's eternal. You have to fall in love, believe in what you need to do, and go for it head-on. One of my earliest hobbies helps me a lot. It's photography. You pay attention to details. And in science, these details are very important. Science is real art. A prize in the category Engineering Solution for the development of a compact accelerator neutron source suitable for a wide range of research, including neutron capture therapy, is awarded to Doctor of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, Chief Researcher of the Institute of Nuclear Physics of the Siberian branch of the Russian Academy of Sciences, Head of the Laboratory of Boron Neutron Capture Therapy at Novosibirsk State University, Sergei Toskayev. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for this prize, for this recognition. It's been long awaited for me. Thank you to the VYZOV Foundation. Thank you to the Scientific Committee. Thank you so much to the Russian Science Foundation, which has been supporting our team for 11 years now. Thank you to my big young team. And a huge thank you to my wife. We just honestly did what was needed, even despite what was thought to be impossible. This prize is definitely important to me, to our team, because we want to see this journey through to the end, so that our devices help people, heal them. Thank you all. And I'm especially grateful that such a grand event for me, for our team, happened on my birthday. Thank you for this applause, friends. And I see that Andrei Razigraev is really getting into it and is eager to continue conversations with our guests. Well, I can't refuse you. Viktor Sidnev has been the team captain at the What, Where, When Club for half a century, and recently also became the president of the Union for the Development of Russia's Science Cities. We'll do a rapid question and rapid answer, agreed? Attention, the question is from Andrei, from Moscow. What do you think connects our VYZOV Prize laureate, who just received his award, Sergei Toskayev, with the Lavrentiev Triangle? The Lavrentiev Triangle is the unity of science, innovation and education. I think all our laureates, they are involved in science, education and innovation. And actually, science today can't exist on its own. Innovation and education are integral parts of the Lavrentiev triangle, and I'm sure each of our laureates thinks this way as well. Thank you very much. And I make a slight turn to meet Andrei Merzlikin here. Question. Can a modern-day scientist become the main character of a super popular blockbuster movie? And who would play that role? Well, Igor Vernik, probably. He's already lobbied for everything, stood there and explained that the spot in the center of this orbit is already taken. Well, I can say that's the truth. Today's scientists are undoubtedly heroes. It's just that some time has to go by. With historical distance, we'll understand how to make a movie and truly highlight the discovery that brought certain success and made a mark in history. Well, we grew up on movies like 9 Days in 1 Year, where Batalov and Smoktunovsky played those scientists who inspired entire generations to follow in these heroes' footsteps and become great renowned scientists. Maybe even today's heroes watched exactly these movies. Thank you very much. And of course, I can't overlook Konstantin Mayor. Can media technologies create an image of scientists as heroes of our time? Well, first of all, just look who's among us. Among us are global stars. Every year, there are more and more of them. Both I and our media holding wish that the profession of the future, the profession that's taking the top spot in the prizes here, is respected, valued and loved by all. And young people value it and strive to take these positions. And the VYZOV Prize is received by more and more young heroes. Thank you so much for supporting science. We look up at the sky and think, what's out there in that limitless space? Do we understand that right next to us are those same universes? They're infinite. Scientists, creators, dreamers. For example, I'm playing a role in Konstantin Bogomolov's play Pokrovsky Gate, and I just remembered a phrase that one of the characters says. Sava says it to Kobotov. Don't be offended, I'll tell you frankly. You're an outstanding person. I actually admire you. I just can't grasp how you can have such a mind with all kinds of things stuffed into it, but still never understand the simplest things. There's such a woman next to you.
Good evening.
Here she is, that woman.
Wait, Igor, I want to disagree with you.
Go ahead.
According to the play, Margarita Pavlovna, whom I portray in the work of the same name, leaves impractical Kobotov for practical Savva.
Yes.
And so I'm sitting here at the ceremony, and I realize that I disagree with the character, and I want to argue with you and her.
Please, Sasha, argue. I'm listening to you.
Yes? Life with a genius isn't easy, probably. But it's a great gift at the same time, isn't it? Just imagine. It's night. You're lying in bed. He's sleeping, your beloved, your scientist. And imagine, maybe at this very second, he's dreaming of a table. Not Mendeleev's, but his own table. A table that will be named after him. Or let's say, he's having breakfast. Or maybe he's picking up groceries in the supermarket. Or fixing a broken child's toy, doesn't matter. And at that moment, it's quite possible that in that head, an idea is born which will change the world, save millions of lives, free us from suffering, make us better, stronger. Just thinking about it takes my breath away. Oh, if only you knew how much I want to peek in there, right? Into that world, into that universe that is now, for example, eating the scrambled eggs you made for breakfast. There's a whole universe. Oh, how I wish to know, to understand, right, Igor? What's in those brilliant minds? What is this brain thinking about? A machine stronger than any other. A reactor more powerful than any atomic reactor in the world. An engine pushing our civilization into the future.
Sasha dear, we do have that opportunity.
Do we?
Because this space, it really resembles a brain. Look, these lines, yeah, they're like brain gyri. Thousands,
Yes.
tens, hundreds, thousands of different thoughts are swarming here. Let us listen to them carefully right now.
Lord, when will this ceremony be over?
I'm so hungry. They say it's -20 outside.
I gotta get up so early tomorrow.
And at the same time, right now, among these seemingly strange thoughts, a brilliant idea might appear. A brilliant idea, like a brilliant solution. Ladies and gentlemen, people's artist of Russia, Konstantin Kabensky.
Гроза прошла, пылали георгины под семицветной радужной дугой. Он вышел в сад, и в мокрых комьях глины то яблоко пошевелил ногой. В его глазах, как некое видение, не падал, но пылал и плыл ранет. И только траектория падения вычерчивалась ярче всех планет. Так вот она разгадка, вот что значит предвечная механика светил. Так первый день творения был начат, и он звезду летящую схватил, и в ту же ночь, когда все в мире спало, и стихли голоса церквей, школ, не яблоко, а формула упала с ветвей Вселенной на рабочий стол.
Yes, our next category is Breakthrough. And to introduce the laureate in this category, we invite the Minister of Science and Education of the Russian Federation, Valery Falkov. Please welcome. Dear colleagues, first and foremost, allow me to congratulate the laureates of this wonderful national prize. I'd like to express special gratitude to the organizers and partners of the prize. This is a significant endeavor. During the decade of science and technology, we're tackling several key tasks. One of them is attracting more young people to the field of research and development. The second is bringing together our scientific institutes, universities, research teams with business, with organizations that work in the real sector of the economy. Certainly having such a prize helps effectively solve these tasks, crucial for the state. The hero, the laureate in this category, like any true scientist, is undoubtedly a brave, determined, extraordinary, and consistent person. It's hard to overestimate his contribution, both to ensuring our country's competitiveness and to our everyday comfort. This person is a chemist. He simultaneously represents the flagship of Russia's higher education system, Lomonosov Moscow State University, which will soon be 270 years old, and a young, ambitious, yet already established institution, not only in Russia, but also abroad. I mean, the Skolkovo Institute of Science and Technology. This hero is Evgeny Antipov. Evgeny Viktorovich Antipov, head of the Department of Electrochemistry and the Chemistry faculty at MSU, and professor at the Skolkovo Institute of Science and Technology. I represent the work of two teams, the MSU team, which I lead, and the Skoltech team, led by Professor Artyom Mikhailovich Abakumov. Our project is dedicated to developing the fundamental principles for creating materials for lithium-ion batteries. Primarily, lithium-ion batteries. But it also includes sodium-ion batteries and potassium-ion batteries. Now, these electrochemical energy storage devices have become a necessary element for various areas of life. Electric transport, unmanned aerial vehicles, scooters, mobile phones, computers, space technology. All these technologies are based on new lithium-ion batteries, and new lithium-ion batteries require new materials. These chemical components are currently made overseas and imported. And we need to create technologies for producing these chemicals by ourselves so that they could be used in our batteries. Plus, it is necessary to train specialists who will understand how to obtain these materials. The research we're conducting is aimed precisely at ensuring that, for example, you can talk on your smartphone after one charge not for 2 days, but for a week, so that our electric cars can drive not 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, but 800 kilometers, and most importantly, that they are safe. I'm happy to inform you that you've been chosen as the winner of the 2024 VYZOV Prize in the category Breakthrough. My heartfelt congratulations. Well, it's amazing news. I'm really grateful, actually, to the scientific committee, which has highly appreciated our achievements, our results. Prizes are most often given to individuals, but individuals are the tip of the iceberg. Without false modesty, I'll say that during this period, we've created teams able to meet competition on a global level. This is an acknowledgement of our team's work. I first joined Yevgeny Viktorovich's laboratory as a student in the year 1986, and I can't help but be grateful to my mentor. It's a tradition in Russian science. Doing chemistry is a creative process. It can be compared to literature, to painting. We strive to create a work, a product, that will be of interest not only to me, but also to my colleagues. That's the main goal of my life. I have to accomplish something useful not just for myself, but for our overall development. The VYZOV Prize in the category Breakthrough for creating the fundamental and practical foundations for developing and producing electrode materials for next-generation metal-ion batteries goes to Doctor of Chemical Sciences, Head of the Electrochemistry Department at Lomonosov, Moscow State University's Chemistry Faculty, Professor at Skolkovo Institute of Science and Technology, corresponding member of the Russian Academy of Sciences, Yevgeny Antipov. Dear colleagues, friends, I'm very grateful to the VYZOV Foundation, the scientific committee, for such a high assessment of our joint work. To the staff, postgraduates, students of Moscow University, Skoltech, the Russian Academy of Sciences, who participated in all our scientific research. But first and foremost, I'm grateful to my colleague, friend, co-laureate of this award, Artyom Mikhailovich Abakumov, professor at Skoltech. Please. Dear friends, both Yevgeny Viktorovich and I hold a special love and reverence for such a highly organized form of matter as crystals. And for us, it's a bit of a miracle that nature can arrange atoms and molecules in such a strict, ideal order. And for us, they're toys. Instead of building blocks, we use atoms, ions, structural fragments. In this game, our partner and competitor is nature. And we've won this game many times. And now we've used our experience and knowledge to create new materials with important, highly necessary functional properties. Thank you very much. Thanks for your attention. Well, with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I'll go on with the talking. Deputy Minister of Science and Higher Education of the Russian Federation, Denis Sekirinsky. How can a prize in the field of future technologies help solve the issues that science is facing at the state level? Today's ceremony is a vivid example of how a qualified client, a business, comes and turns to research and comes back to science. And the government's also working hard in this direction. You know that the President declared a decade of science and technology. In the context of future technologies, it's worth recalling the words of Sergei Ivanovich Vavilov, who said that by the mid-20th century, all the peaks in science had been discovered and certain chapels were set up. And we really want to believe that all the peaks are actually still ahead of us. And our scientists have plenty to work on, especially since we have everything we need for it. I invite Sergei Novikov, the head of the Presidential Directorate for Social Projects of the Russian Federation, to join the conversation. Sergei Gennadievich, we know about your passion for opera. And the VYZOV Foundation combines art and science. Do you think it makes sense to keep moving in this direction, exploring different genres, so our scientists start getting recognized on the streets? Our laureates have mentioned that science is art, and art is partially a science in our time. So, of course, it makes sense to achieve this synergy, so our scientists are recognized from their best side. The task of art is to make it so that people all over the world admire the beauty of discovery. Vyacheslav Fetisov, where does the intersection and interaction between sports and science lie in your opinion? Sports were born among scholarly people, philosophers of that time. By chance, it later grew into the Olympic movement. But I can say one thing about hockey. Why did we beat everyone? Because we studied well. That's one. If one person studies well and can count, good. And if there are 5 of them... So there's a question I'm often asked by the boys I teach master classes to. Do I have to study well? I say, absolutely. By the way, we always worked with a comprehensive group of scientists. And when you're playing with a pulse of 220, they might have some thoughts. And I think sports also open borders to solve the issues of how to support life for people on planet Earth. The language of art is universal, and so is the language of science. Like, you might not understand a song, right? But you feel happiness from its beauty. Looking at a painting, you can quench a thirst, not physical, but spiritual. And a vaccine? It heals people on all continents, regardless of their race, citizenship, political beliefs.
Igor, you're saying beautiful things, that is right. You're a man, you should speak that way. Oh, how you men love fancy words. Take a better look at this platform. Do you see how the rays spread out?
Yeah, they're spreading out now, just like sunbeams, like energy.
No.
No?
No, that's centrifugal force. It's the energy of decay, of separation. Just like our world today, it's divided. Remember what Tsvetaeva wrote?
Расставание версты дали, нас расклеили, распаяли, в 2 руки развели распяв и не знали, что это сплав.
Yeah, that's true. But it all depends on us, and only us. Sure, there are those who try to divide the world, but there are also those who unite it into a whole. Unite it into a whole while preserving its diversity. Just now, an unknown force pushed us apart. But it's within our power to turn the energy of decay around. Just like the VYZOV Prize. It brings together the best people of our country and the best people of the world.
No matter what centrifugal forces exist in the universe, science is the force that unites people. It always overcomes boundaries. Science is that same force. The force of passion. Passion for knowledge. Passion for overcoming. It's the energy that rules the world.
Absolutely.
And scientists are a bunch of madmen who are in love with science. Strong, full of dreams, always ready to overcome any boundaries for their beloved.
This year, the VYZOV Foundation established an international category, Discovery. Attention! To introduce the VYZOV Prize in the Discovery category, we're inviting to the stage the CEO of the state corporation Rosatom, Alexei Likachev. Good evening, dear friends. For Rosatom, for me, it's a special honor to introduce the Discovery category. This is an international category, and believe me, we know firsthand what international competition is and how hard it is to win it now. The word discovery itself is already an acknowledgement of a scientist's work. Entire decades, enormous efforts are spent just so it can be said, yes, this person made a discovery. Indeed, You need to have immense will and desire to be special, to be obsessed with your work. In the exact same way the founders of our country's nuclear industry were obsessed with their ideas almost 80 years ago. Those who preserved the sovereignty of the Soviet Union. Those who ensured peace on the planet for many decades. The same qualities, persistence, courage, are inherent in our winner today. He works in the field of medicine. He researches the human brain in real time. And we really hope his work will become the key to solving the problems of fighting the most complex mental illnesses, many of which sound like a death sentence today. In any case, his work gives us hope for a better future. I'm pleased to announce his name, Nikos Logothetis. I'm Nikos Logothetis, a Greek, but I grew up in different countries. And I'm currently working in Shanghai as the director of the International Center for Primate Brain Research. Brain is probably the most perfect and complex system in the universe. This kind of system requires an approach which is appropriate, complex and systematic. We must study not the work of individual elements, but the system itself, where everything is interconnected. For this, we propose using combined methodologies, multidisciplinary and multidimensional. Our solution associates the degree of oxygen saturation in brain blood vessels with neuron activity in these structures. Based on this, we created a method of functional magnetic resonance imaging, which allows non-invasive study of brain activity with high spatial resolution. This technology is unique. It's possible to use this method for treating Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other brain diseases. And if everything goes according to what we planned, it's gonna change one of the most important things. It's the way we think.
Dear Nikos, it gives me great pleasure to tell you, and you have been chosen as the laureate of the VYZOV Prize in the category Discovery.
You know, it's great, wonderful. This is a true gift. If I got a call from Norway or Sweden saying the same thing, I'd say I'm very pleased. But just now, I was very happy. Honestly, I'm very happy, because it comes from Russia. My attitude towards Russia is really positive. I love music, especially classical music. It's amazing. Rachmaninov, Mussorgsky, Tchaikovsky, Borodin. I also like the romances. Science and art are close, as both are results of creative intellectual activity. Being a scientist is a challenge. You try to find the answer to a question without being sure if it's even possible or not. But you know, if I lived even 30 lives, in each one, I'd want to do the same thing as now. Study the brain. The VYZOV Prize, in the category Discovery, for the foundational contribution to the creation of the functional magnetic resonance imaging method and its introduction into everyday scientific and clinical practice, for studying human brain activity, goes to the director of the Shanghai International Center for Primate Brain Research, honorary director of the Max Planck Institute for Biological Cybernetics, Nikos Logothetis.
Добрый вечер. Огромное спасибо to the VYZOV Foundation and also to the scientific committee that selected me as laureate. I must say I am very happy with having the VYZOV Prize, but even more happy that I am receiving a prize from Russia. I always had an emotional connection to your country, and I loved Moscow. These studies they are gonna be very useful both for basic research, but for the first time also for translational and clinical research. Thank you.
Well, with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I'll continue the talks and pose a question to Fyodor Lukyanov. International politics and science. Who's leading this dance? Scientists or politicians? A really interesting experiment is being undertaken. For a while now. Politics tries to divide the world, to dissect, fragment it, and so on and so forth. And at first, it seems very effective and successful. But that's just at first. If you take a closer look, you'll notice the world resists. The economy resists, one way or another, by various means, but somehow it maintains integrity. Culture absolutely refuses to be cancelled. It just keeps staying and staying, and science just ignores these things altogether. And if we continue the metaphor set by the ceremony organizers, then politics builds a labyrinth, and science takes a thread and leads out of it with that thread. Ruslan Yunusov, just one short question for you. Are future technologies already here? Already in Russia? Are they already with us? Well, we're here. We're in Russia. We're at the VYZOV Awards, and technology is with us, of course. But you know, these future technologies, what are they? It's when dreams, discoveries, come to life, to the future life. And so, interestingly, Nikos tells us he dreams of seeing a person's thoughts. That's what he says. What's behind his words? How do we look and see thoughts? That's a dream. That's a discovery. And soon it'll be technology. That's why it's future technology. And actually, right now we are doing things that used to be hard to imagine. We are trying to look at how the brain is structured and what thoughts are in it. That's definitely future technology. Svetlana, does life change after an award?
Of course, tremendously. You start feeling this huge responsibility to people, to parents, to fans, and of course to your country, because everyone knows which country you represent. And of course you're proud to be able to do something for your country.
Есть русская интеллигенция. Вы думали, нет? Есть. Не масса индифферентная, а совесть страны и честь. Есть в Рихтере и Аверинцеве земских врачей черты. Постольку интеллигенция, постольку они честны. Нет порока в своем отечестве, не уважаю лесть. Есть пороки в моем отечестве, зато и пророки есть. Такие, как вне коррозии, ноздрёй петербургской вздет Николай Александрович Козырев, небесный интеллигент. Он не замечает карманников. Явился он в мир стереть второй закон термодинамики, а с ним тепловую смерть. Когда он читает лекции над кафедрой, бритый весь, он истой интеллигенции, указующий в небо перст. Воюет с извечной дурью, для подвига рождена отечественная литература, отечественная война. Какое призвание лесное! Служить ей, отдавшей честь, есть русская интеллигенция. Есть, есть, есть.
So, we've come to the presentation of the prize in the category Scientist of the Year. And to introduce the laureate, please welcome to the stage the Deputy Chairman of the Board of Gazprom Bank, Dmitry Zauers. Please welcome. Good evening, dear friends. What is life? This is a question everyone asks themselves sooner or later. Science, religion, and art. Each tries to answer it in their own way. Back in the year 1944, Erwin Schrödinger, one of the founders of quantum mechanics, wrote a very unusual book, unusual from a physicist's point of view. It's called What is Life? In it, he tries to understand whether living matter follows the laws of physics and whether physics can explain such complex biological systems as a living cell or a whole organism. You know, back then there wasn't a VYZOV Prize. So Schrödinger had to settle for the Nobel Prize in physics. But, quite ironically, in the same year of 1944, another remarkable event occurs. In the city of Saratov, Valery Tuchin is born, who, with his discoveries, will start answering Schrödinger's questions, change the landscape of life sciences, and become one of the founders of biophotonics, a discipline that connects physics and biology. The method created by our laureate is used worldwide and allows entire organs to be made transparent. Friends, Gazprombank is a big living organism. And if you apply the tissue clearing method, then in the bank's DNA, you can see the belief in people who create knowledge, technology, entire industries, and the drive to join them in creating the future of our country. Our laureate has created a huge scientific school, and it's people like him who turn knowledge into technology. To answer the question of what is life, I want to say that for us today, life is the light of knowledge, the energy of incredible emotions from our amazing laureates. Ladies and gentlemen, the laureate of the VYZOV Prize in the category Scientist of the Year, Valery Tuchin. Tuchin Valery Viktorovich, head of the Department of Optics and Biophotonics. Diagnosing and treating, that's our task. And doing it with simple means, accessible, inexpensive. Biophotonics, it's biology plus light. In 1997, the first work was published, where we clearly stated that you can make the white sclera of a human eye transparent, just like the cornea. And then we started making skin transparent as well. It's harder, but it's possible. And then we moved on to all organs. So you can make tissue more transparent, blood more transparent, and then you'll get the information that's hidden from us. There was fog, and the fog cleared. To get a quality image, you need to connect the skin with the sensor through gel. What we do is we take this gel and mix our clearing agent into it, which allows us to get an optical image together with the acoustic image. So, we visualize the tumor itself, and from there, a qualified oncologist can classify it further. With cognitive diseases, you need to measure the blood oxygenation level. For this, you just need to pass photons through the head, right? The doctor can monitor the patient's condition, putting stress on them, giving them tests. With MRI, you can do this only to a limited extent. With CT, even more so. Using optical signals, you can do this all day, all week, and even at night. Saratov means a lot to me. Well, my whole life has been here. It's a good Russian city where there's no hustle. A cultural city. There's a conservatory, museum, philharmonic nearby. 100 meters from my house. If you want, you just go. Dear Valery Viktorovich, I'm pleased to inform you. You've been chosen as the laureate of the 2024 VYZOV Prize in the category Scientist of the Year. Great, great, yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. It's very important to me, and I think it's the same for my family. They understand in their hearts, but still, Grandpa, Dad, Great-Grandpa is really busy, right? Always has his back turned, right? Thank you, thank you. I love students, love doing science, love leading young people. My only small problem is, my students are retiring. Science really fascinates me, especially writing books. If you've gathered a lot of knowledge and want to share, then you need to have students and you need to have books. There's no science without teaching, and no teaching without science. The VYZOV Prize in the category Scientist of the Year for outstanding contributions in the field of life sciences, as well as in the new interdisciplinary field of knowledge and technology, biophotonics, is awarded to Doctor of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, Head of the Department of Optics and Biophotonics at Saratov State University, Head of the Laboratory for Laser Diagnostics of Technical and Living Systems, of the Saratov Scientific Center of the Russian Academy of Sciences, corresponding member of the RAS, Valery Tuchin. Thank you so much. Dear friends, I, of course, am very grateful to the Foundation and the Scientific Committee. We have an absolutely wonderful, brilliant ceremony today. I feel like a star. It's very significant that today we're celebrating the 115th anniversary of the founding of our university. And so, this prize, I think, is a great gift to our university. In my opinion, a scientist draws strength from their teachers, students, and of course, family. I'm very grateful to my colleagues. And of course, I'm very grateful to my family. My wife greatly contributed to the fact that I moved from laser physics to addressing issues in biology and medicine. I'd like to say one more thing, that many years ago, when I was still a student, I missed an interview. Well, for a simple reason, I stayed home, decided to have a good meal. Yeah, and I was late. It was the interview for studying at MSU and at FISTEC. And when I got there, they told me, "Buddy, you're late. We're all done." A huge thank you to these folks who refused to listen to me that night. And that's why my fate turned out completely different. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite to the stage the President of the VYZOV Foundation for the Development of Scientific and Cultural Relations, Leonid Shlyakover. Dear friends, it's been exactly a year since we first gathered in this hall to honor the laureates of the VYZOV Prize. We've managed to achieve a lot this year. The prize has reached an international level, and now it's known not only in Russia, but in dozens of other countries. The VYZOV Prize laureates are stars in the world of science, and we're doing everything so these stars shine bright. Reports are made about them, plays are staged. Their faces and names are placed on huge billboards all over Moscow. We're proud of our laureates, and we want the whole world to be proud of them. We're breaking stereotypes. We're tearing down any barriers. We're shaping a new way of thinking. Yeah, I know, it sounds ambitious, but we won't settle for less. We're challenging ourselves. We'll keep doing everything in our power to make sure scientists and their achievements are known to millions around the world. It's a tough but important journey, and I want to thank everyone who supports the VYZOV Foundation. We could never achieve our most ambitious goals and implement projects without Gazprombank and personally Andrei Ilyich Akimov. We appreciate the support of the state corporation Rosatom and Director General Alexei Yevgenyevich Likhachev. The Moscow government is our partner, and I thank Sergei Semyonovich Sobyanin personally for this trust. We're supported by the Roscongress Foundation. Thanks to it, the VYZOV Foundation participates in all key events in the country. Special thanks to Ruslan Yunusov for his involvement in the Foundation's life. I want to thank everyone gathered in this hall. Your compassion and support help us move forward. And of course, the VYZOV Foundation team, for whom our projects are life, who make them one of a kind, like this ceremony, our scientific Oscar. Happy New Year in advance. Thank you. Today, the VYZOV Prize recognizes the achievements of those who managed to change our future, here and now, in an incredible way. Can we know what happens tomorrow? In 10 years, in 30? Surely not. But can we say what will happen in a year? Definitely, yes, we can. In a year, the VYZOV Prize will for the third time honor the best of the best in technology and science. Thanks to the VYZOV Foundation for letting us know who they are. The real heroes of our time. Knowing no barriers.
В юном месяце апреле в старом парке тает снег, и веселые качели начинают свой разбег. Позабыто все на свете, сердце замерло в груди. Только небо, только ветер, только радость впереди. Только небо, только ветер, только радость впереди. Взмывая выше ели, неведая преград, крылатые качели летят, летят, летят. Детство кончится когда-то, ведь оно не навсегда. Станут взрослыми ребята, разлетятся кто куда. А пока мы только дети, нам расти еще расти. Только небо, только ветер, только радость впереди. Взмывая выше ели, неведая преград, крылатые качели летят, летят, летят. Шар земной быстрей кружится от весенней кутерьмы, и поют над нами птицы, и поем, как птицы мы. Позабыто все на свете, сердце замерло в груди. Только не